Good evening, Diana. Sorry about the delay, but it was raining a lot today, and the rain just makes me feel like. So, trying to be a woman of my word, I wanted to make sure I get this to you today, and I actually am feeling like I'm gonna try something a little different. I'm feeling spicier today in general. But let's see why your soul drew you or attracted you to the spiritual gifts reading. What is she most hoping to learn from this session today? So your guides actually wanted this. Sometimes I recognize that it's like somebody's higher self trying to lead them towards something. It's your guides. So they want you to know that you also have this ability to tap into the Akashic field, which is interesting because let me flip this for you and let you see over there. My computer is actually playing the frequency we're listening to today. And that's the frequency of euphoria, actually. It's a neural frequency. So it is bringing forth the chemical in the brain that causes the feeling of euphoria. I picked it out custom for this session. But the feeling I got, because I always pick them out at the beginning of the session based upon what energy the client is going to have, just like psychically or intuitively, right? You make other people happy. You bring a silver lining. Like there's probably some heavy Sagittarius energy in your chart with this going on, but that's not the end of it. You're pulling stuff from the Akashic field at all times. Notice how this sort of looks like what I just showed you on the screen over there? You are pulling forth the things that other people need to hear. So, are you already married, my love? Because there is a guy here, but this is your energy. This is the woman who is holding down her house in this beautiful euphoric energy. Like you are in your feminine and it's seated quite comfortably. But it looks like something is being moved out the way for a masculine energy to come in. Somebody who was a planner, a strategist. Wasn't expecting that in here, especially since, we're like, why are these gifts? But you needed to be listening to your guides. That's the second card that says your guides have been trying to get messages towards you. So maybe the purpose in this reading is you getting familiar with your gifts, and I'm going to give you some training tips on here on strengthening them so that you could better connect with their messages or elaborate on them for yourselves, because you are going through a healing period right now, but it's healing of your gifts so that you can tap into the Akashic records and not second guess the signs that you see. Is what I'm feeling here. It's like you'll see it, but because sometimes you're getting things so far ahead that it's like, no, ain't no way. And I don't know if you're already married, but it might not be romantic. I will say the male card was somebody who was a strategist, somebody who was a builder, somebody who was going to help you get over any of the obstacles blocking you from becoming your best self. So if you already have a counterpart, they don't have to worry, It didn't necessarily say romance, but it did say that you have this loving energy that brings it out of other people. And believe it or not, baby, in this world, that is a gift. So let's get into the actual gift. So what is Diana's strongest spiritual gift? What is her strongest gift? Ooh, okay. So intuition absolutely comes up. With this moon goddess, this is the high priestess gift. Like stuff without knowing why you know it. It's just there. Things that are hidden typically. This is a 8th house superpower, I'd like to say. 8th house, Scorpio energy, planets at the 8th and the 20th degree. You know things without knowing. It's because you have built up a sort of detective file on all the things that have come before you, so you can peep out a character real quick or a situation and surmise. Like you watching detective shows, you probably have a blast because you're like, hold on, nah, this doesn't need to be a cold case. I can solve it, right? But there is a lot of energy here that's like gut intuition, like lightning fast. And ironically enough, this has something to do with your root. Do you have Mars in a water house by any chance? Because it's like your personal power is intuitive, I'm getting. You know when to take action, even if you're not sure why that action is being taken. So this is like you going to take the trash out. Because at that moment you were sitting at the computer and suddenly it was like, need to take out the trash. But you're taking out the trash because you need to run across this neighbor because her dog has been going through your such and such. You know what I mean? You didn't know why you needed to go out in that moment, but it was handling something else that you had on the list. So that's definitely a precog gift, but yours comes through action. You make moves before you even know why you're making the moves. And if you continue to just trust when you're supposed to do something, you will align all the time. So, side note, it was you walking away to go towards your spiritual path in some way, shape, or form. And I was just going to dismiss those cards. But nah, there are certain things that are sliding into this reading that are saying there is something building in the background of your life. You are in a storyline that is here, right? But what you have been doing in your awakening has started building like a way out, sort of, kind of, if you want to. Because there's another storyline up here in a higher octave. So you are pulling your energy away from this one, making this sort of life fall apart because everything over here has to go away before you can step into this new energy over here. You're on the bridge right now. You've been taking steps on the bridge. And stuff has been like, it doesn't feel like fully falling apart, but it's like you're starting to detach from it because the tower is coming. Understand that the tower that is coming is because you wanted something else. It's not a bad thing. You haven't done anything wrong. You're not stepping backwards. But you are making room for that which you have been asking for. So, what gift did Diana use in order to make this happen? What gift? Because not everybody can knock out a timeline, baby. That's a quantum gift, right? Like, I noticed some weird crap. Like, I can make a request go through the algorithm. Which is funny because at one point when I was going to do like music and stuff, my name was going to be AI. Just because my name is Aisha and it starts with AI. And I was like, I don't feel like coming up with a name. Just like make my name AI. But I asked people lately like, hey, how did you find my page? And some of them are like, I don't even know. I've never paid for marketing. I just set up like what I wanted. Like, hey, I would like clients, scripting stuff out. But it's coming through the algorithm because my magnetic field is what's the way I want to say it? It can biomagnetically go through the waves. Weird crap. But I've been training other people who I recognize the pattern in their chart to do it too, with amazing results. For example, I had a client, she didn't understand, like, hey, I'm control this stuff. Like, no, you're playing with me, right? So I said, write down one thing. And I'm going to tell you the same thing. Write down one thing that you want to see. You need to see proof of your own power and the fact that you move through things or you move through other people. So she wrote down, my daughter's going to wear purple one day this week. And she didn't tell the daughter. She wrote me back at the end of the week, freaked out, right? She said, my daughter has worn purple every single day this week. Because your waves go through other people and they catch those waves subconsciously and then they act on those. That's what I was getting here. Expansion. That's what that says. It says awakening, expansion. That is your gift. You have been receiving messages that it's time for your soul to expand beyond the 3D vision. You are an old soul that is here to do many great things. You have come to realize that through doing the hard work and merging with your higher self, there is no going back. So enjoy this new way of being by having acceptance and inner peace moving forward. You are about to make a huge shift. You are releasing any stuck and stagnant energy. And I'm getting that eventually you'll be able to do this for other people. I don't know if you do Reiki or anything like that, but you'll be able to put your hand on somebody and feel where their energy is blocked in their body and help them breathe through releasing it. It might cause tears, it might cause sweat, it might cause shaking. But imagine how great it would be if you are dealing with somebody who, like, for instance, has C-sections or something, and you're numb when you have a C-section, but your body technically still holds that pain from whatever happened. Imagine if you're able to put your hand on somebody's wound and heal a wound that they didn't even know they had, to release the pain that happened that they never actually got to like process. You'd be changing like fallopian tubes, like if they had endometriosis, PCOS, all sorts of stuff like that, just through the ability to move stagnant energy. Let's see, this is interesting. seems like you're meant to be using some of these gifts on your family. Like there's a division in your family, because I'm seeing reconciliation here. It could be the branch that you're creating is going to be better before you. Or better after you, I said before you. But better because of you. But this is the one you need to hear about. So this says letting go. I'm doing a gifts reading, but I'm getting other messages that your God are like trying to pour in on me. Like, hold on, she needs to know this. She needs to know this. She needs to know this. Right? This cycle has ended and it's time to let go to experience new growth. It is vital to have closure and gratitude for the situation to make room for new things to enter. Go within to find what is holding you back. Change is necessary in the situation. Full circle completion is the last card. So no, things are shifting for you because your powers are growing. And the Diana you were is not the Diana you're going to be. So anything that is stopping you from stepping into that position of power where you are literally going to be changing people's lives with your good energy, bottom line, you talking to them, you placing hands on them, you even, if you don't already have the Reiki gift, you tapping into learning this new gift is completely different than what you've been doing before. I got distracted looking at your chart. This is my first, I had it on here, but I didn't look at it. You're moving into your North Node energy soon, which is beautiful because you came to get money. There is some sort of business that you are meant to have online, blessing other people. And if you didn't see my post from yesterday about Asteroid Bless, please check it out because you have it in your 11th house. It's meant to come through your job, even out in the community. But you have most of your 11th house in Capricorn, which lets me know there's like an online business possibly. But your ability to bless other people and change their lives is on here as well. You also have like vocal gifts, like as a singer. But you are stepping into your finances as an individual person, away from your 7th house in your marriage, through creating a business that allows you to be of service to other people in a humanitarian way. You are at the final degree of motherhood, of family, right? With that 29th degree moon. It's a final exam right on your IC because you are starting your own branch that will be completely different than all the ones that came before you. You learned everything that you needed to do wrong from the family you grew up with. You learned all those patterns so that you could break them for yours. Whatever is going on with your relationship, if you're in one, that was already designed ahead of time. There's a shift that is going to happen into you discovering who you are in your personal power. So right now that we're in Scorpio season and there are like a million planets touching on your sun, happy early birthday. My Saturn is at the same exact degree as your sun. You are transforming other people through your communication, through the way that you see the bright side, through the darkness, through the blessings that you can speak over them, and from the wisdom of your experience, which is what is actually meant to be shared in your career. All of your gifts are aimed towards you being in a position to share them with other people so that they can heal too. Like your vertex is a fated event, right? You have it at the same degree as your Venus. You stepping into your financial power and realizing, holy crap. So this whole time, my psychic gifts, my ability to just, it's been my gold, because literally you are golden. You have gold in Capricorn at the 13th degree. That's the self degree. Your energy is gold. You understand the rare preciousness of gold, ma'am? Your wisdom, the way your mind works. Now, you might not have been around people that were able to fully understand that. And they especially won't understand now that it's like, because it's going into hyperdrive. You are now not only building upon the information that you have within yourself and that you've seen and stuff, but you are bridging the gap between your higher self and your physical self so that it's even stronger. So I'm going to say you do the same tip or same trick as that client. Write down one thing that you want to see as proof of your work. It can be something like she did, just so you can see the result. And then you play around it a little bit with it a little bit more often. Like, hey, I make such and such money this week. Let me show you this. I literally, whether it's in my notes, in my phone, or here, I pray about it, but then I write out exactly what I need. I write down what I want to get done. Like, this is all business goals, things I want to do for my website, the people I want to attract, how I want to expand my services. And then after that, I leave the rest up to the universe. If I want to learn something, I say, hey, I feel like I need to, a good example, recently I wanted to do public speaking or something. Like, I wanted to be more eloquent in the way that I express myself. Like, I have my Chiron is in Gemini in the 11th. So speaking to people is really uncomfortable for me. This has been big. But people always talk about how fast I talk and like, I used to slow down. And the whole time I didn't know I was channeling something outside of myself. So I get very about talking to people, or when I say or anything like that. So I wanted to try to perfect that so that I felt more confident. After that, you would think my algorithm started saying a whole bunch of stuff about speaking classes. No, suddenly it said sex therapist coach, tantric teacher. And I'm like, but I wrote down that I want to find my niche. I want to be able to utilize my gifts to help people in whatever way I can. So it's not just going to come through in the way that I perceive logically that I need to better service people, but it was giving me ideas about ways or knowledge that I can have that will better help people. I don't think anybody cares about a couple of ums. I mean, Obama was president and he ummed all over the place, right? He's still known as like one of the best presidents for the most part, you know. But that's what I am perceiving for you. Play around with your power. It is not limited. Anything that you see falling away isn't because of what you've been doing, like necessarily as a bad thing, but because what no longer aligns with the healed version of you has to be let go. Who you were before is not who you're becoming. And you really can't step back. You can say, all right, that's enough of that. But you're stepping into purpose. Would you give up your purpose and the fulfillment that you came to have? Stepping into that North Node. You getting out there as a business person, like touching lives, doing something at a time where people feel powerless. You've given them their power back through you just telling them what you already learned. You already did the suffering. You already did the hard work. So why would you not step into the timeline that allowed you to receive the rewards, because it's requiring you to let go of the life that no longer fits. If you have not seen Matrix Resurrections, it's the latest one. Please check that out, because it'll help you understand better what I'm saying about letting go of the life that you thought you were meant to have, to step into the purpose that Source has for you. Because your powers are about to be off the chain. Literally, it's like, these are your gifts, and they're already plugged in the wall, right? Whatever the case may be, this part is plugged in the wall. Or maybe I should have did it like this. Hold on. This part is already plugged in the wall, and your power is already going through it. It's just like the universe is waiting for you to say, okay, I'm ready. Plug me in. You have been keeping it disconnected because it doesn't exactly fit with your everyday life and what you already had set up. It's all for a reason, sweet. Have a good day.